Welcome back to the Morning Blend, where we are cooking with Thunder Bay. The bitter cold these last couple of days is just a sign of what's to come, but our next guest may have just the cure. Warm up from the inside out is what he suggests.
Yeah, Chef Mike Stigler is back with his recipe for warm caramel apple cider. Of course, Mike, this is great, and you know, you had to one-up regular apple cider and make it like caramel apple cider, which sounds irresistible.
Well, that's just a traditional flavor combination that you really can't beat, so hey, why not put it together in a nice warm apple cider?
Do it. I love it. And we're sharing this recipe today, too.
Yeah, this is a recipe that's really easy to put together at home, so I got the recipe up on the Morning Blend website, I believe, and I'll show you how we do it.
Okay.
So we start off with a gallon of apple cider. This is a half gallon. I already got one going in here, so we can kind of get it nice and warm and get it started. So do either of you know what the difference is between cider and apple juice?
So funny that you just asked that.
I figured you were going to ask me, so I thought I'd beat you to it.
I was going to ask you because a lot of times in the morning, I put out just a little saucepan for my kids for breakfast to have like a warm drink, and it's usually apple cider because it's their favorite. And I looked at the ingredients, and I thought it just said apple juice. And to me, it always tastes like it has cinnamon or nutmeg or spices in it, but they're not listed on there.
Well, generally, when you add things to it, it'll become kind of like a mulled apple cider, and then when you add different things to it. But actually, regular apple cider is not filtered, and apple juice is filtered, so it's a lot more clear. And traditional cider is not filtered, so it's got more of the big chunks of, not chunks of apple, but it's not as clear.
I love having the answer to that.
Yeah, how about that?
That was a good answer.
So what we start off with is we got our gallon of cider going in here, and then we're going to add some of our larger, more chunky style ingredients so that they have a chance to sort of simmer a little bit. Now we're going to throw, this is a technical cooking term, what I like to call a knob of ginger into here. So you can use powdered ginger if you want. This is fresh ginger. So what you do with that is you just take your peeler and you peel off the end of it, and then you cut it in half, and then we're going to leave these chunks kind of large because you don't want them to be, you know, to get chunks of ginger in your drink when you pour it later on. So this way we can kind of fish around them. So we'll cut those into big chunks rather like that, and we're going to get those going in our little pot over here.
This is random, but if you don't like ginger, does it taste the same without it?
Yeah, it doesn't taste the same, but I mean, you can leave it out. Ginger has got a nice little bit of a spice to it, and it also gives it just a little bit of a savory flavor as well. So that's a really good thing that you can add in there. Then to that, we're going to add a Granny Smith apple, which has got a real nice amount of tartness. And these we're just going to kind of quarter these up, and once again kind of leave them in chunks. That way we can kind of fish around them when we're scooping out our cider later. So we're going to get those chunks of apple going in there. And then to give it a little bit of a citrusy punch and a little bit of additional sweetness, we're going to throw in an orange, a navel orange. And we're going to do that the same way. We're going to cut this up into quarters. And then what I like to do with the orange when we put it in there just to kind of get that juice rolling a little bit is give her a nice squeeze. And then we're going to drop the whole orange right in there. And we're going to leave the rind on the orange because that has a lot of nice natural oils in there, which are really going to help to flavor this thing up really good too.
That's awesome.
So we're going to get that all stirring up together.
Dish too.
Yeah, it is. It's really fantastic. So then from there, we are going to add in some of our spices that we've got here. So we're going to start off with fresh ground cinnamon. So we're going to go ahead and add in a teaspoon of cinnamon. Is going to go right into there, and then we're going to add in a half teaspoon of nutmeg and a half teaspoon of, you could use allspice if you have it. We're going to add a half teaspoon of cloves in there as well. We're going to get those all going in there really well.
Nutmeg is my favorite spice.
Yes, it's very,
and
very
my favorite herb is mint.
Mint.
Just so you know.
You know what? That might actually be good in here too. Now that you mention, well, sure, mint and apple jelly and mint, you know, with lamb and things like that. I could see that. I could see that working out.
The aroma's already coming out.
It smells so good. Now
out.
here's the secret weapon with this drink.
Here's the kicker: caramel. Okay.
I thought the kicker was going to be alcohol, maybe.
Well, maybe. You're just gonna have to wait and see on that.
All right.
But for now, the kicker, the pre-kicker, so to speak, is going to be caramel. You can just put a little drizzle in there, but I like a lot of caramel in there, so we're going to unscrew the top.
I knew I liked you.
Go, Mike.
Now this recipe, this recipe calls for. It won't stop coming out. Calls for. I think a full cup.
Keep it going.
A full cup of caramel sauce in there. We're going to get more later. So we got the full cup of caramel sauce going in there. And we're going to go ahead and get that stirred up in there really well too.
I am a caramel girl.
Now, if you were making this at home, at this point, you could kind of put it on low on the back of the stove and just sort of let it simmer. I mean, the more you let it simmer, the better it's going to get. So you just want to.
Caramel, you're going to have to simmer down.
So we're going to let that cook on high for a minute, and while that's cooking, maybe I can mention the Thanksgiving Day buffet.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about the 85 Bears at all.
The Bears? No, absolutely not. How about the Green Bay Packers? I don't know.
There we go.
Notice the extraordinary season.
Which year?
This year they're just having an extraordinary year. I don't know if you noticed it or not. Everything's going perfectly according to plan.
Exactly.
But moving on from the Packer Bears
to the buffet that you have.
The buffet, yes. On Thanksgiving Day from 10 until 4, we'll be serving a traditional style Thanksgiving buffet, which has chef-carved ham, we have chef carved beef, of course we have turkey, and we have stuffing. We have multiple different kinds of pies that we're going to have available. We're going to have smoked salmon, we're going to have peel and eat shrimp are going to be out there. We're going to have all sorts of different delicious Thanksgiving Day items rolling on there.
For just what, $21.99?
Yes, exactly, $21.99,
gosh.
and that's all you can eat. You know, come on in, and we'll make it. We'll do all the dishes. We'll do all the hard work for you, so that you don't got to worry about it.
Look what I found.
Look at the caramel.
So here-
Where'd you find that?
Oh, you just travel with Captain Morgan's, don't you? Isn't that
It was in my
convenient?
back pocket.
Have captains will travel. So from there, we'll put a little bit of caramel on the inside of the cup. We'll fill the cup up partially with our cider, and then if you are so inclined, of course, you could order yourself up a little bit of Captain Morgan's and go ahead and give her a little dump in there.
Okay.
A little shot of Captain's inside of there to kick it up. Now the Captain's, any kind of spiced rum that you got is really going to complement the flavors of the cider really nicely.
Stupid.
And then, of course, you have the caramel going on in there as well.
Drink it.
And you are good to go with a warm caramel apple cider. Just a thing to get you going on a nice cold November day.
Can I'm going to admit something. I don't normally like apple cider. I love this.
Isn't that good?
I love this.
It's more than just
That
your
one's yours?
traditional apple cider.
All right, Katie said we gotta go. This is too, like I said, it's stupid. It's so good.
Stupid good.
Thanksgiving Day buffet, Thursday, November 28th from 10 to 4. Make your reservation today. It's time to do that because they're located in Pewaukee. Head out to Thunder Bay for Thanksgiving or any day. And this recipe, again, as Mike mentioned, is on our website, themorningblend.com. And the information for thunderbaygrill.com is on your website.
I'm giving cameraman Dave a taste. If he didn't have his headphones on, I'd have him come over and get that because it's so good. Thank you, Mike. I love it.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
Fantastic.
Appreciate